Gracious Lord, hear us in the silence of our hearts. When we can't pray to you, come to us with utterings that are too deep for sighs. Guide us in our coming in and our going out, in our struggles and in our joys. Give unto the commission the responsibility of listening to all these concerns and joys and dealing with them on their agenda and day-to-day activities. Bless us in our journey of life and guide us that we can fulfill your kingdom of heaven here on earth. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Julie, would you lead us in the pledge,
I
please?
would. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
County Commission will come to order. First item, Chris.
We have the acceptance of the minutes from the April 12th, 2023 meeting.
Okay, I move the commission accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
And I concur. Next item.
We have exonerations 2023, 139 through 2023, 148 from the assessor.
Okay, pursuant to the recommendation of the assessor and prosecuting attorney, I move the president sign the exoneration.
Second.
And I concur. Next item.
We have an order administratively closing delinquent or unprogressed estates. We had a hearing on this on April 12th. At the hearing, no good cause was shown by any person or otherwise known to the county commission as to why the following estates should not be administratively closed. Upon consideration of all the information, the county finds that pursuant to the provision of West Virginia Code 44-3A-24, the following estates are delinquent or have not been duly closed within a period of 3 years from the opening of such estates, and in which no progress has been made toward the settlement of such estates. And the county commission does hereby order that the estates are administratively closed in accordance with the laws of the state of West Virginia. And this requires the signature of the commission as well as the clerk, and some praise should go to Cindy.
Thank you,
Who's done a great
Cindy.
job clearing
I
this
move.
up on our behalf.
So we move the commission sign the order.
Second.
And I concur. Cindy, we have them up to about the 5-year level now.
Yeah, I thought 3 years was a little soon for some of them, so we're just gonna keep it at 5 years.
Next item, Chris.
We have an order admitting the copy of will to probate and appointing administrative CTA. This is in the estate of Barbara Brown Messenger and requires the signature of the commission as well as the clerk.
I move the commission sign the order.
Second.
Come on, here, there. Next item, Chris.
We have an order of referral in the matter of the estate of Robert Lee Fortney, Jr., deceased. This order refers this matter to John Funkhauser, a fiduciary commissioner, to hear proof on the objections, to make specific findings thereon, to enter a proposed dispositional order, and to advise the commission on the law governing the decision of the matter. And this also requires the signature of the commission as well as the clerk.
I move the commission sign the order then.
Second.
And I concur. Next item.
We have an order confirming and ratifying the fiduciary supervisor's report of claims and settlement reports in the following estates: Vincent Price, Lemley, Phillips, Haddix, Fluharty, Wilt, Wood, Hess, Michael, Link, Starks, Smyers, Wilson, Simmons, Beamer, Morrow, Spencer, Sarborn, Perkins, Jones, McLean, Anderson, Stodd, Cowger, Angel, Polino, Caputo, McKinney, Smith, Burdoff, Wells, Lowe, Burt, Puskas, Pittman, Ashcraft, Willis, Brummage, Kearns, White, and Green. And this also requires a signature of the commission as well as the clerk.
Is there anyone here to object to any of these orders?
If there's no objections, I move the commission sign the order.
Second. I concur. Next item.
We have a resolution to become a participating employer of the West Virginia Emergency Medical Service Retirement System. And Chris McIntyre is here to tell us a little bit about it.
Commissioners, the legislature has passed a law that allows us to go from the peers retirement system, all new employees, to go from the peers to the emergency medical retirement system. And this is an effort to retain our employees and attract new employees. On the employee side, the employee pays in 6%, their rate would go to 8.5%. And the only cost for the county, we currently pay 9% in. It would go up to 9.5%. It would cost us 0.5%. With our budget we have and our surplus we've had for the past couple of years, we shouldn't have any issue in the next 5 years paying this. And we hope that it would entice people to stay and new employees to want to come to work for us at the 911 Center.
I know we've had a turnover of employees over the last several years. Well, that's a decade really. Hard to keep it is, I think, to be a stressful job to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, our call volume, we're handling about 300,000 calls a year, and no one ever calls to say hi. It's always something that's going wrong, and it's life and death situations. It's very stressful on them, and if any way we can help the employees to retain our employees and to give them benefit, I would be very happy to do that.
Very good. Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris, you've done a good job.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Sign the resolution.
Okay, then, sorry, move the clerk to sign the resolution.
I
I'm
second
sorry,
that.
I'm ahead of myself.
I concur. Next item.
We have the adoption of the Palatine Amphitheater rental policy.
Before I make a motion, I'd like to make a few comments. I think I need to explain maybe my, feelings in the past about using the amphitheater and using Palatine Park. I've been here 2 years, and I think I have voted on using the stage, against using the stage for the past couple of years. And the reasons for that I have is because we had no particular policies in place as to who's gonna be responsible and how we're gonna conduct anything that's done on the stage. It was always the recommendation from the commission that the stage be used for entertainment. I have talked with the commissioners, we have discussed what we can do and maybe make things, appropriate for groups to be able to use the Palatine stage. We put together a very strict policy, and if anyone was interested in using that stage, they would need to contact the commission, they'd go through Chris. We would go over the policy and tell you all the things that has to be done and what you're responsible for, because the commission will not be responsible for those particular things that the group would be. And so, since we've had policies, and I'm a policy person, being in the legislature for so long, you have to have some policies. And So I always voted against this, only for the fact that we need to discuss it, we need to have things in place, if there's anything that goes wrong, that it's not gonna be on the county commission. Now, if there's some issues there, as we do this and groups go down there and there becomes an issue to the public, I will ask for the commission to bring it back to the table to rescind the policy. So having said that, I will, move the commission adopt this policy at this time.
I second.
And I concur. Thank you. All right. Next item, Chris.
We have for the record the revision of the levy estimate budget of the general county fund for the county of Marion. This is actually for the record, as this was submitted shortly after we submitted or were approved for our levy. So again, that's for the record.
For the record, next item.
We have a request for advice and consent of the commission from James C. Riffle, sheriff, to hire Becca Cummings as transport officer, a replacement, full-time with benefits effective April 3rd, 2023.
I move the commission give its advice and consent to hire Becca Cummings as a transport officer, full-time with benefits effective April 3rd, 2023.
Second.
I concur. Next item.
We have a request for advice and consent to hire Matt Offit as Director of Media and Events, full-time with benefits, for a 1-year contract and a 90-day probationary period.
Again, I'm gonna ask to speak, to this motion. And, first of all, I'd like to say, I have no issues with the person being hired, and I look forward to working with Matt and hopefully keeping Palatine and Marion County a shining star for people who want to come visit and for the weekend entertainment that we have provided, and we continue to do so and even do it better. But having said that, I have a couple concerns on personnel issues that I believe that should be discussed in executive session if the commissioners will agree, or after the meeting, because it is personnel issues and hiring policies. And I would like to have these discussed a little further, just to relieve my concerns and to know that we're doing things in the appropriate manner that we should be doing and for the public. So I'm asking that we move this particular item to the agenda for the next meeting that we have in the next 2 weeks. Commissioner?
Are you making that motion, or?
I'm making a motion, I'm moving that we, remove this till the next meeting.
Hearing no second, would anyone want to amend that motion?
I move the commission grants advice and consent to hire Matt Office as Director of Media and Events, full-time with benefits for 1 year, 90-day probation period.
Do we have a second?
I abstain from this vote.
Can't abstain, you're the county commissioner. If the vote's, I'm assuming is no, I will second the motion. The motion carries. Next item, Chris.
We have for the record a request for reimbursement from the West Virginia Division of Justice and Community Services to cover period from March 2023 in our Community Corrections Grant. This is in the amount of $11,000, $11,003.69, and that's for the record.
For the record, next item.
We also have for the record a request for reimbursement from the West Virginia Division of Administrative Services, Justice and Community Services for our Special Victims Advocate Grant in the amount of $4,581.82 for the record.
For the record, next item is Vivian Parsons here.
Vivian?
Sorry, I should have already had these out. Going along there really quick and I got involved. Good, just give you some information. I'm Vivian Parsons. I'm
Vivian,
with
you're a
the-
familiar face, I recognize you.
I'm with the Public Risk Pool now. I spent 23 years with the County Commissioners Association, and, 7.5 years before that with the Association of Counties, so I have a history with county government for sure. Since, July of 2019, I've been with the West Virginia Communities Risk Pool. I don't know how familiar you are with the risk pool, but I'll give you just a little bit of background. We started the pool back in 2007, when I was with the Commissioners Association. Counties at that point in time were hopping around from company to company to try to get a competitive price. So one of our biggest objectives with creating the pool was that we look for stability in pricing. Second was good customer service. And third was that we are able to tailor our coverage to local governments. We don't cover any other entities other than local governments, counties, municipalities, and county-created authorities and commissions. You'll see our newest map there. We're up to about 271 members. We have 50 of the 55 counties. We have, I think, 82 as of today. This says 80, but we have 82 municipalities. We opened our doors to municipalities in 2020. And so that is growing by leaps and bounds. We're at 140 plus boards and authorities. So we started the pool in 2007 with 18 counties, and we've grown from there, and in 2020, the board voted to open our doors to municipalities. We also can cover VFDs now, and we have 2 or 3 VFDs who come in. So, we're able to do some competitive pricing for them. Happy to talk to any of them that might be interested. I've given you all my card so that you have my contact. I'm boots on the ground here in West Virginia. I reside in Charleston, and I work out of my office. Home office for the management company is in Roanoke, but I'm here. We operate under the West Virginia Insurance Commission. It's a West Virginia run pool. And you operate under a board of directors. Once you come into the pool, you're a member of the pool, which means you own assets of the pool. You own the pool. Having said that, because you own the pool, we operate a little bit differently than you'd see in the commercial world, in that all of your information is at your fingertips. There is a handout, and I think it's right under the map, online member portal, just to give you an idea of all the stuff that's available to you online that you can log in with your login and password, and you can get to any of this information. You can report your claims, of course, online. And I know that Chris is very familiar. We've worked over the years with Chris for a long time. You can also view your claims online, from when you enter them, following them through the process, the financials behind the claims, and the rolling diary of the claims adjuster. Everything we know about it, you can know about it. Of course, that is only for the person with the login information. It's not public information, of course. You can generate your own reports from the online portal. So if you wanted to see a monthly report, an annual report, you can look at trends in your claims. It's very helpful for that purpose. And then we've added site tools, and under those site tools, you can add vehicles when you get them. You can view your schedules for your vehicles, your properties, your inland marine. You can see the values, the deductibles right online. Now that's something different, Chris. It's only been on there about a year, I think. And we are moving slowly, but hope to get that automated to populate. You can go in and add at any time, and we encourage you to do so. It makes it easier on you when the questionnaire comes out. But if you add them online, it will take about a week to get then the view of the schedule updated, because right now it's being done manually. It's not automatically populated. We're working on all that, but the information is there for you. And you can request certificates of insurance online when you need them. So a lot of tools at your disposal. The other thing that's online, and I'll talk a little bit about risk control services, is that we have a lot of information available to you. If there's any processes or policies that you want to put in place, we kind of collect them over all of our members and put them on there, so they're shell documents, cut and paste, used for your purpose if it's beneficial to you. We also have a lot of presentations that we've done in the past, both recordings and PowerPoint for your use if you wanted to do some training in-house. We do in-house training, and I know we work with you. I attended one of the law enforcement trainings here, which was like over a 2 or 3 day period, and we even brought in some of the city law enforcement officers at the same time. That was back when I first started, I think in 2019. So I know that you all have taken advantage of these resources. All are free to our members, there's no cost if we send people in to do the training and they spent 2 or 3 days here. Your law enforcement, and I did put a brochure in here, several brochures about our risk control services, because we spend a lot of time on that, because we are a pool. We want to save you money, help you save yourself money, but you want everybody else in the pool to be saving money as well, because you're a part owner in the pool. So we do spend a lot of time with that. There's a particular handout on law enforcement training in what I have given to you. Those law enforcement classes, we have a retired law enforcement officer who comes and does the training. And we think that's beneficial with your law enforcement personnel, and they can get credit for their continuing education credits. We have worked with the state police in Charleston to get approval for what we provide. So I think right now we can provide, I believe it's about 14 of the 16 required hours through our training. So again, at no cost to you. So a lot of information on the website, and I always encourage local officials to take advantage of as much of it as you can. It saves you money, there's no cost for any of it, and I know there's never enough money in local government from the past. I also brought you a handout on property valuations, and this is kind of a new brochure that we put together, but I know Chris is familiar with this. We do property valuations for our members. The first year you come in, we'll come out and do your property, and then you get on like a 5-year cycle, every 5 years of reviewing the properties, and that's any buildings over $75,000 we come out and value, because we want to try to keep your property values current so that you're adequately insured. We provide that information to you so you know what you're looking at. And as I stated, there's several brochures here about our training programs. Beyond safety training, which is what you would expect with a risk pool, we do the law enforcement, but we also get a little out of the box and do some HR type things, because we know local governments don't always have a dedicated HR person. Things like sexual harassment, cybersecurity training, and that's for employees who just sit down at a computer, not your IT people. They know what's going on. It's people like me who sit down at a computer, what you shouldn't hit, what you shouldn't, things that you can expect. That training changes all the time based on what's happening out there in the world, and we know a lot of that is happening. So on these brochures, on the backs, they will list a lot of the stuff we have available. It's not all inclusive. We're developing stuff all the time. And if you find a need for something that you don't see on any of this or on the online resources, have Chris give us a call, because we're developing stuff all the time. And that's how we develop it, is when we have our members asking for it, looking for it. So one last thing on the training, there's a handout in here that maybe for your maintenance crews, or maybe driving, folks who drive county vehicles, or whatever the case might be, that you might be looking for videos. Like maybe you have a monthly meeting and you want a safety video. We have subscribed on your behalf to a product called Safety Source, and it's over 1,000 videos. You can put in a keyword, maybe it's lifts, maybe it's slip and falls, whatever you're looking for. It'll bring up all the videos, show you what the time frame is on them, let you preview, and then when you find something you want to use for training purposes, you can download it. It has the username and password that you use on the bottom of this handout, because we subscribe on behalf of our members. You don't pay anything, you just use our login and password, and you can have access to any of that. So that comes in handy, especially if you're looking for a 15-minute time slot maybe, and you want something short, brief. The last brochure, I lost my thought there. It's age. And let's don't start counting up all those numbers I mentioned. But I included our brochure, The Truth About Risk Pools. Now, in county government, we've been out there a long time, and you all are most familiar with this. But as we opened our doors to municipalities, things got stirred up a little again, and there's some, issues out there that folks are uncertain about. What we've tried to do is put an FAQ together for some of the most common concerns or questions that's come up, just to provide it to you if you need it at any time to answer a question from a competitor or the public or others. So I won't go over any of that. I want to answer any questions you might have. I know you guys are busy, and I appreciate you giving me a few minutes on the agenda. I like to try to get out and stay in contact with the names and faces that I've met over the years, let you know that my background is not insurance, my background is customer service, and, I'm here to make sure that you're getting the kind of customer service that you want and need, and if there's any issues or problems, Chris knows how to get in touch with me, for sure. But if any of you have any questions from time to time, and you need to get in touch with me, I've provided my contact information, and I'll give my
A couple
copy of this.
questions, Vivian.
Sure.
How many states do you operate in?
Now, we are a West Virginia risk pool, so we only operate in West Virginia. The management company, if that's what you're asking, the management company does service some other risk pools, small and large. And to be honest with you, I work for the West Virginia Communities Risk Pool side of things, so I don't know the breadth of what they're looking at. I will tell you that our cybersecurity program is second to none. We've had all 50 states contacting our CEO to come and talk to them about how we're able to provide the kind of cybersecurity program that we're providing. So I'm really proud of that. I know that they do represent a risk pool in Virginia, for local governments. They also manage some other risk pools that are not local government driven. But we are not combined with any of that. We are a standalone. We answer to the West Virginia Insurance Commissioner. They oversee our rate structure and all of those things. We're licensed in West Virginia. We simply, and I have trouble with this because I say we. I was around when I was part of the counties, and so I'm saying we as West Virginia Corp. The management company that I now work for, has different products and things going on, but when I was with the counties, we contracted with this management company on purpose, because they had such a wide range of experience. They had everything set up, all the shell work set up to run a pool, under one roof, and it was much cheaper for us to contract with a management program, us being the West Virginia Risk Pool in the counties, than it was to try to set that all up on our own. We could keep the pricing much lower for our members, which was our goal. So once we had a contract with them, when that came up for renewal, our board renewed it because we've been very happy with them. They have all the experts in place, they have the actuaries, the investors. Our board is local government officials. I will tell you that we just added 2 new board members. We have 7 county commissioners that make up the board of directors. We've added 2 mayors. One is the mayor of Bridgeport, Andy Lang, I believe Lang is his last name. And then the other is Mayor Cavalier from Smithers, West Virginia. And as they grow, they'll get another position on the board. So the board itself make the decisions about the pool. The management company only provides the experts to advise them, and then it's up to them. One other bit of good news while we're talking about the board of directors is we approved for the 3rd year in a row a rebate back, because financially it's doing well. We try to give back a little to our members, either in the way of adding products, or for the last 3 years, it's been a monetary discount off your renewal price. And so if you haven't gotten your renewal, you will very soon. We send out our renewal questionnaire in January, and then we trying to work around your budget time. We try to get your proposal out by the end of March. We also have to wait on rate approval through the Commissioner's Office, West Virginia Insurance Commission. And so we're running a little bit behind this year, but they have gone out for West Virginia. So if you haven't gotten it, you will in the next day or 2.
Do we have any local volunteer fire departments participating in the risk pool at this time?
I do not have at this time. I know 2 are in the Northern Panhandle. If there's a 3rd, I'm not quite sure where it's located, but I know that I've personally worked with 2 in the Northern Panhandle. So the word has kind of started to spread there, and that's usually how we bring in members. But always happy to talk to anybody that would like us to come talk.
Our sheriff isn't here, so I'll ask you, is our sheriff's department participating in your training?
In the past, we have many times, yes. They have participated in the training, even did some, I think, public outreach with it. We have equipment that we can bring and hook to your cruiser that is like the virtual reality thing. That was my first experience with it, was here, and I attended the training that our folks were putting on, and watched the folks put on the virtual hood, whatever you wanna call that. I'm old, so VR, I think, my grandbaby used to tell me it's VR.
You're still a baby, honey.
And so, that's very interesting. I would encourage, if you have it back, commissioners come, we love it if you come and sit in on it and try the driving training yourself. It's an
No,
experience.
I would do that myself.
Yeah, it's an experience, it's interesting. But, yeah, any other questions from me?
Thank you for coming, and Chris,
Yeah.
there's a lot of great resources there, I'm sure you're sharing with everyone that needs it, and continue to do that for us, so I
Yeah.
appreciate,
Yeah.
We
appreciate
spend a
that.
lot of time talking like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Mike Rezak, I don't know if you know, but Mike Rezak, who used to come out and do a lot of your training, he had, twins. He's got 9-month-old, twins, and so he's been pulled into manage one of our divisions, so he don't get out as much as he would like. But he did want me to mention to you, when they were here and did some video, with the drones, they have some great footage of, Marion County. And if you would like to get a link to that, we wanna make sure, we're using it for our purpose, but we would love to provide it if you wanna put it on your website or whatever you might wanna use it for. So, I forgot to mention that, but it's another, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see you guys.
I didn't realize you did all those things,
That's, having been in county government, that's one of the things I like to make sure you know about, because, like I said, there's a lot of resources there and they're free. One of the things that, before I sat down, you all were having a discussion about your park, and I don't know what any of the policy or any of that, but I wanna make sure that Chris is aware and that you all are too. We have a product, and it's, available on our public website. When you do rentals of county property and you want them to have an insurance policy on a one-time event, it's something called Gather Guard. And they go online, they fill it out online, they pay online, they list you as the third party, and they can get $1 million coverage for their, function for around $100. So we don't insure that through the pool, but we place that coverage so that we can get a good price for everybody. And it's called Gather Guard. It used to be the TULIP program, if you remember that. But it is under coverages and services on our public website, and you can direct them down, and it's all right there online, so. And if you have any, if you need it, want me to walk you through it, call me, we'll do it.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely, it's nice to see you guys. Thanks.
Anyone else sign up to speak?
Yeah.
I take a moment or two.
Yes, you may.
I have to speak because Chris McIntyre, usually when he gets up, tells a story about his wife.
We didn't get a
You know,
joke.
we didn't get it done, so I thought I ought to stand up and tell the story about my wife. My wife says she loves me, except when I don't pick up my socks, except when I don't take off my shoes when I come in. And there's a few other things I cannot mention. But those things, she said, I love you in spite of all those things. So I stand before you today to say that I love what the county commission does. Over the past 15 years that I've taped, probably over 1,000 programs that you've done, and 12 to 15 special events, you have really brought a new dimension of what the county commission is to the county. But every once in a while, I feel like I don't agree with you, or I just want some clarification. So that's the reason I'm standing today to ask, with the potential hiring of a new media person, does this mean that you will not need me anymore? And the second question is, can you share with us, because I have a lot of viewers that watch, what are some of the guidelines you just passed over for Palatine Park for use, which you have adopted and passed without us knowing anything about it?
No, I think we can address it. I think there's a copy in the, you have a copy of the,
I brought mine up there,
should be right here. We can make a copy of that available. We can go over it actually if you like.
I think the viewers would like to know what are some of the specifications you have. Because I have quite a few people watching.
I would be happy to read it for you. For the County Commission of Marion County, order adopting policy regarding use of Palatine Park. Whereas Palatine Park is a destination attraction for a regional area. Whereas the park is the entertainment and cultural event forum in Marion County and the regional area, and whereas many groups and individuals seek to use the park for events exclusive to that group or individual, and whereas the Marion County Commission is resolved that Palatine Park is and shall be a public park to be used by all members of the community, and that all members of the community shall be treated fairly and equitably regarding the use of the park. Therefore, it is ordered that the Marion County Commission does hereby adopt the following policies relating to the use of Palatine Park. 1. The management of the park does not and shall not discriminate in the use of the park on the basis of race, color, religion or creed, national origin or ancestry, gender, pregnancy, sexual orientation, gender identity, age, physical or mental disability, veteran status, genetic information, or citizenship. 2. With the exception of the amphitheater and surrounding seating area, all amenities of the park are available for use on a first-come, first-served basis. 3. With the exception of the amphitheater and surrounding seating area, there shall be no rental fee for the use of the park, and the amenities therein and reservations are not accepted or allowed. All uses of the park, reserved and non-reserved, shall be subject to the following rules and regulations. 1. The park may not be used for gathering after posted hours of operation. General hours of operations are from dusk to dawn. 2. There shall be no nudity or extreme displays of public affection in the park. 3. There shall be no noise so loud as to disturb the peace, quiet, and solitude of the surrounding neighborhood. 4. There shall be no illegal drug use in the park. 5. The park shall not be used for any illegal activities. The amphitheater and surrounding seating area may be reserved for an exclusive use upon the following terms and conditions. 1. Reservations are available on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday only and shall be granted during a time that will not interfere with other events in the park. 2. There shall not be more than one event per day by any one group, groups, organizations, or individuals. 3. All events using the amphitheater and surrounding seating areas shall be community-oriented, and all such events shall not unreasonably interfere with the use of other areas of the park, including but not limited to the splash pad and the playground area and the picnic areas by members of the public. 4. Any group, organization, or individual requesting reservations for the amphitheater and surrounding seatings areas shall be responsible for providing sufficient security to ensure the safety of participants and spectators. 5. Any group, organization, or individual requesting reservations for the amphitheater and surrounding seating areas shall be required to sign an indemnification agreement with a hold harmless clause in favor of the Marion County Commission. 6. Any group, organization, or individual requesting reservations for the amphitheater and surrounding seating area shall provide a $20,000 refundable cash bond with the Marion County Commission as a beneficiary for any damages to the park. Said bond will be held by the commission until final inspection of the park facilities and park officials after the event is completed. If no damages are sustained to the park as a result of the event, the bond will be refunded. If damages are sustained, a determination of the cost of repairs will be made by the park officials, and sufficient funds shall be withheld from the bond to cover the cost of such repairs. 7. Any group, organization, or individual requesting reservations for the amphitheater and surrounding seating area shall provide proof of an event liability policy with a minimum coverage of $1 million per occurrence. 8. Any group or individual reserving the amphitheater and surrounding seating area shall be responsible for the cost of electric uses during the event in a minimum amount of $100 and a maximum amount of $200. The cost will be billed to the group, organization, or individual after the event and must be paid within 30 days of the event. Park management reserves the right to ask any person or group violating any of the rules of use to leave the park.
Very good, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'd like to make a statement. Appreciate everything you do. I would like to say that change is hard, but it doesn't mean it's wrong. And it's okay that we're making changes. You know, we're working together, we're making changes, and I think we're headed in the right direction, and I'm excited in the direction that we're going. So that's what I want to say on that, so.
Anything else?
I would just like to say, when I made the motion for some concerns on procedures, this was all part of it, and meaning, you know, we appreciate you being here, and I think you do a wonderful job, and a lot of people watch your program, so I think this is something we need to talk about.
Dee Dee, you've certainly been an asset to this community for many, many years, and I've enjoyed working with you, and hope to continue to work with you for a long time in the future. I think that pretty much states up also. All right, if there's nothing else, this new meeting will stand in adjournment until the next meeting. 2 weeks.
2 weeks, I like that. 2 weeks.
How are you doing?
2 weeks, All right, meeting adjourned.